Hey guys, good afternoon. As Brett said, I'm Jenna Trunzo, and I'm here to talk to you about bringing personality to project management. I'm sure you guys have heard some amazing talks today. This is definitely not going to be one of them. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, I hope. It would definitely help, though, if I had a really cool accent like Peter, but this is what you get, so sorry. All right, first I need to ask you guys a really, really important question, okay? And that is, can you see me? Can you even see me at all? I'm right here. If you can't, it's not where you're sitting. It's that I stand at a whopping 4'11". Ironically, I'm here to talk to you about what it means to be big. As project managers, we spend a lot of time thinking about and discussing process, right? Are we being agile? Are we following all the right ceremonies? Are we using the latest tools? For the next few minutes, I want you guys to just completely forget about process, and I want you to focus and think about approach. My approach is using innate personality, and I'm talking big, big personality, soft skills, and unapologetic transparency. What's that look like? What does it look like to be big? It probably definitely doesn't look like this, but it kind of looks like this, right? So for me, it's about having entire conversations in only Beyonce lyrics, right? For you, it might be something totally different. But in short, it looks like you being you, at your fullest, your most robust energy level, really filling a room and taking up space. Bringing yourself to that proverbial table with no apologies and with as few insecurities as possible. All right, it's time for a little audience participation. I want you to raise your hand, and I want you to keep it up there if you're any of the following things I ask. Okay, I want you to raise your hand if you are intelligent. Keep it up. Oh, okay. I want you to raise your hand if you're interesting. Keep them up there the whole time. Funny, approachable. All right, take a minute, look around. Keep your hands up, look around. Okay, you can put them down. So we've established we have a room full of completely awesome people, except for a few of you that didn't raise your hand, and I'm going to need to take you out for a drink afterward and maybe a therapy session, okay? Now, the next part, I don't want you to raise your hand, but I want you to think to yourself, and I want you to be really, really honest with yourself. How many of you use those traits that you all just said that you have at the forefront of your thinking, your actions, your decision-making, your leadership? I'm willing to bet that not nearly as many of you do. Why? It leads me to ask the question, why do we think our capabilities are more important to our jobs and our professional relationships than our personalities? I have a possible answer. I'm not going to leave you hanging. We're afraid to be big. We're afraid to use our personality to lead and to innovate. We've been taught that to outshine, we have to use our hard skills to be taken seriously in this industry. We have to use our hard skills over our soft skills, and to value our ability to perform before our ability to listen. To boast our accolades above our sense of humor. Tell them I said hello, whoever's calling. So I want to reiterate. Let's focus today not on process and all of the skills and all of the tools that we spend a lot of time talking about because they are important, but instead I want you to focus on that approach. Get personal, but not too personal. I'm not talking HR people, okay? When I start a new project, I have my internal kickoff, just like most of us do. But in order to get the invite to their mandatory stand-up, they all have to answer a question. It could be any question. It's usually a different question for each team that I have. It could be something as silly as, what's your go-to karaoke song? And I know a lot of you love karaoke because I've heard it before. It could be, what do you eat for breakfast most days? What does this tell me? Why do I care? Well, it tells me a fun little fact about my team members. It's a great icebreaker. And it also tells me their willingness or lack thereof to play along. Are they a team player? What does it tell them? Well, it tells them that I'm very nosy, for one thing. It tells them that I am interested in who they are beyond their role on the project. And it might help them connect a little bit with their fellow teammates as well. Do things with your team. Take your teams out to lunch. Nothing starts a conversation like food. If you feed me, I will tell you anything. Play games together. Case in point. This is part of my team, and I am forcing them, asking them, to play Heads Up with me. Do you guys know that game? Great game, right? I'll play with any one of you later on. They loved every second of it. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Use your funny for serious stuff, too. The most frequent compliment I receive as a project manager is that I do a really good job of balancing humor and demand to get what I need from my team. To have a successful team, to be a successful PM, people need to feel comfortable talking to you about anything at any time. You become instantly unapproachable when your body language says like, oh, I'm in a bad mood, is it Friday yet? Nobody's gonna wanna talk to you, and nobody's going to want to follow your leadership. Okay, let me give you an example. Everybody has that one team member that is late for stand-ups every single day, right? And you're like, swear what? It's not that hard. All right, you could try that authoritarian sort of approach. You know, you're late every day, this is completely unacceptable. If you keep it up, I'm gonna get you moved to another project. Most likely, that's gonna be met with defensiveness, right? Nobody likes to be called out on their shenanigans. They feel attacked, they don't like it. What about if you tried using a little humor instead? If you continue to be late for stand-ups, when you're not looking, I'm totally gonna steal your phone and set an alarm on it, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of thing. The message is still received, but allowing yourself to be a little bit more lighthearted gets better results than that sort of shot collar approach that leads to resentment. Stop talking. Seriously, shut up. So many times we ask questions and we don't even bother waiting to hear the answer. We talk so much and for so many reasons. We talk because we're uncomfortable with silence. We talk because we feel like if we're silent, people think that we don't know something that we should. We talk just to hear ourselves talk sometimes. And yes, sometimes we talk because we have something of value to say. As digital project managers, we are responsible for facilitation. We are not responsible for problem solving singularly and exclusively. Just being present and being quiet gives your team the confidence to work together and to work on their issues without depending on you solely. Your intentional silence affords you the ability to just listen, to pick up on cues, to read faces, body language, posture, things that trigger them throughout working together on your project. If you have something to say, be present, participate, but if you don't, zip it. We rush to fill silence. Do you guys even know what 10 seconds of silence feels like? Sounds short, right? 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Let's try it. I'm going to use 10 seconds of my 10 minutes practicing this with you right now. Ready? Go. So that was a little uncomfortable, right? Like I made some weird, awkward eye contact with some of you. You're all kind of like, oh, is she gonna talk again? What's happening? I wanna leave, right? This is exactly why we have to get comfortable with silence and listening to our team members. All right, before I go, I just wanna stress to you guys that these are 3 things that you can start immediately. The more you do them, the more comfortable you get with them. Get personal, use your funny. Stop talking. Simple. I'm not the only one that believes in this approach. As you can see from the quotes, take a picture if you need to, they're great quotes. Places like Harvard, MIT, Wharton, they've all done studies on the need for personal interactions, levity, and listening in the workplace. One study, I love this one in particular, went so far as saying that before you can ever be credible to your teams or to your colleagues, you have to be likable. I think that's just such a really powerful statement. The tricks I've shared with you will allow you to be both better at your projects and better at guiding your teams. So it's a lightning talk, so there's not enough time for Q&A. But if you want to talk to me more about this topic, or if you just kind of like want to compliment me later, that's cool. You can stalk me here at the conference, or you can follow me on social media, which is far less creepy. And I thank you guys so much for your time.